Well, hello, my name is Svanur Corvasce. I'm the founder owner of the cocktail catering company Reykjavík Cocktails. Today we'll be talking a little bit about the role of the bartender and the objective, let's say, that is towards our guests for the Restaurant Academy. Well, so first thing is, when you think of the bartender from the guest's perspective, so let's say if you come into a bar after a hard day's work, what is the first thing you notice? Well, to me, it's always like, am I receiving a good reception, or is it quite negative? For instance, the most important thing, the absolutely most important thing to me at least, is that the person greeting me is smiling. It's so important, like just that little bit of extra as soon as you walk in, just to receive a smile. So that's the first objective of the bartender, the first rule in my opinion. Give your guests a welcoming smile as soon as they enter the building. So nobody wants to feel unwelcome. Nobody wants to feel out of place. And they shouldn't at all, never feel out of place or unwelcome. So greeting them, saying good morning, good evening, or good day, whatever is the right time of day, and just tell them, it's so easy, just tell them to hold on a minute if you can't attend to them right away. However, if you can attend to them right away, it's best to just have them grab a seat at the bar, and then is the first thing that most bartenders always forget, give them a glass of water. That's the first welcoming thing to do. So in most countries, it's even illegal not to give people that want water. So it's the first step of making them feeling welcome in your location. After you've greeted them with a glass of water and a seat, you hand them a menu. If they don't want to have a look at the menu, you just speak to them, find out what they want. That is your job, to give the people what they want. So when they're done ordering with you, or if they have any special requests, if they ask you about any of the bottles behind you, you should know a little bit, just one fun fact about every single bottle at your bar. So when the order has been made clear, you give them a napkin. You put the napkin right in front of the guest, glass of water to the right, in front of the guest. This kind of gives them, it's like a plate if you're a chef, or if you're inviting people to your home, you give them a plate so they will know what they'll be expecting. In this category, they'll be expecting a drink. So after the napkin has been set in front of the guest, you just start making your drink. If they want to talk, you should be able to talk. That's also one very important point. You should kind of like be able to talk while you're working. It's very important. A lot of bartenders kind of just like zone into their own world of making the perfect drinks. But if the perfect drink is made without the personal, let's say, the personal communication between the guest and the bartender, then it's quite easy to forget how actually good the drink is. After you've made your drink, just push it onto the napkin, or just put it nicely onto the napkin of the guest. Voila, and you're out of the situation. Unless, of course, they want something more from you. Always keep an eye on their glass of water that should be filled regularly, and answer every question they have. If there's something you don't know, you don't know, and that's just normal. But kind of part of the job of being a bartender also is being, let's say, being kind of aware of your surroundings. So you should know a little bit about the country you're working in. You should know a little bit about everything, just where they should stay, hotels, barbershops, grocery stores. You should know a little bit about everything. It's just easier, and it creates conversation very, very easily for you. So to me, this is one of the most important roles of the bartender, just to make the guest feel welcome at all times. Doesn't matter if you're stressed, if you're completely out of breath, if something goes wrong or anything, you just put on your nice costume, your nice face, your nice smile, and you're just there and then. Yeah, so this was my first little talk with you. I'm gonna have hopefully a few more. So I'll see you in the next one. All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the equipment and the order in which it is best, in my opinion, of course, to make a drink. And then we're going to make one drink and see how it works out. All right, so the equipment we're going to talk about. So this is, as you're all familiar with probably, it's a cocktail shaker. This is a tin shaker. This is what I normally use in a restaurant or bar, you know. So there are many different ways of doing this, but let's say the way that I prefer to do is just to keep this one here and turn around the small one. Now this is done so that we don't put too much in the shaker. So let's say if we started out with a big one and we fill it all the way up with drinks. Let's say we're gonna make 5 drinks in one shaker. So we fill it all the way up. Then when we close, we put it on, we splash, and it makes a splash on the roof. So that's not what you want to do. So, as I said, we start with this one. Select our glassware. We're gonna make a dark rum daiquiri, very basic, easygoing drink. Next thing I'm gonna talk about is the jigger, which is this one. This one is different measurements on top and on the bottom. So normally you have 60 milliliters of alcohol here and 30 milliliters of alcohol here. Inside you have a line that says different measurements, let's say 35, 40 and 45 milliliters. I always recommend working in milliliters. It's just more specific. So with this one, you just hold it close to the shaker, and that is done so that if you imagine that you were to fill it up right here with something and it's filled all the way to the top, but then you just have to kind of carry it clumsily to the shaker. But if you just do it close enough, you can just pour it very, very easily. The next thing we're going to talk about is the strainer, this one. It's very basic equipment, very easy, not expensive, and belongs in every single bar. So the way we hold this one is in between our index fingers and our middle finger. So we put it so that the spring is facing down, not towards the thumb, and we hold it like this. The reason for us doing that is because when we're done shaking, we want to put it comfortably on top here. Watch that the ears of the strainer stay on top here, and then we can hold the shaker like this. We should always be able to hold the shaker with one hand and the strainer. So if you can try this out and it feels comfortable, you're doing it right. The reason for us doing that is that sometimes we need a double strainer. I most often use a double strainer. It's just catches the rest of the ice bits and leaves or whatever it is that we're shaking. So it needs to be comfortable to hold it like this when you're pouring the cocktail into the glass. All right, so now we covered the equipment. We're gonna turn everything to ground zero, which is this one. So as I said, you already selected your glassware. In this instance, it's a coupe glass. So first thing we do is we chill the glass. We never touch the ice. It's very important. We never touch the rim of the glass. We never touch the ice. So we take the glass by the stem, take some ice from here, and just fill it up with ice. So this is our first step normally when we're making a drink. All right, and then we start. So in this drink goes 25 milliliters of, 30 milliliters, no, 25 milliliters of simple syrup. So then we just pour it as I was showing earlier. Here we go. And the thing is that we don't want to start with the alcohol products, because then if we make a mistake, we don't have to throw away the expensive ingredients. Then we keep going. This is fresh made lime juice. I really recommend squeezing it ahead, so you don't have to squeeze every single lime into every cocktail. So just put it in a bottle like this, really makes everything so much easier. And we're gonna put the same amount, 25 milliliters of lime as well, into the shaker, like this. Then we have bitters. This is Angostura bitters. I think most people are familiar with it. It's a cocktail bitter, it's a flavoring agent. And we're gonna put 3 dashes of it. So if you're thinking, what is a dash? You hold the bottle like this in between your middle finger and your ring finger. That's what I find most comfortable. And you just 1 and 3. Voila. There you go. It's normal to spill a little bit. Then you just dry it off with a clean towel and keep going. All right, now it's the star of the show, the rum, dark rum. I use Bacardi 4 years old, as it's like made for cocktails, and really good in this one as well. So we're gonna put 50 milliliters of the rum in the drink. Voila. Comfortably putting it inside. And then we return the jigger to its right place. All right, now we're done with the cocktail. Nothing much more to do than to just shake it up. So, as I said, you never touch the ice. So a lot of people take the ice and just kind of put their hand here to cover it, kind of throw the ice in, touching the hand. I don't quite like that, so I just take the shaker with my hand and just drop the ice in right here. Very simple. And the thing is that you want to fill it all the way up. The shaker is meant for shaking. It should be heavy and it should be filled all the way to the top, as you can see right here. All right, One more thing I forgot to mention in the beginning is that it's very important to work on a station. So this is the cocktail station that I'll be working on all night. You don't want to be making drinks down here behind, so you want the guests to see what you're doing. It's one of the most important thing to me is that the guests can always look at you. It's like you're on a stage. You're the star of the show. You are the guy with the booze, and you are the guy who makes the best drink, or girl, of course. So now we're gonna just close it off like this. Be careful that you close it off so that one part is straight and the other one is bent. All right. When we're done with that, we just give it a nice, good hit on the top. What we do next is we turn it around like this. The reason for it is that if you turn it like this and you start shaking, and the cocktail shaker accidentally opens, you're gonna throw the shaker and the drink in somebody's face, unfortunately. So we were like this. Now we just turn it around, put it up to here, hold with your both hands on both shakers. Very important. And when you shake, it's about going the distance. So all right, now we're done. Done shaking. It's cool, it's beautiful, it's nice. So what you do then is that you hold on both shakers with one hand, and with the other one, you just give a slight hit here on the side of the shaker. Nice. One more, open it up a bit more, and here we are. So what we do now, at least you know what I do, because I always wash my hands in between every single drink I make. So I just put a touch on my hand like this. Test it out, it's quite good. So now I put this one to the wash, throw the ice back into the shaker. Then, as you remember, put it in between your index finger and your middle finger. On top of here, watch that the ears are well adjusted to the shaker. With your other hand, take the double strainer, and then you just pour the drink into the glass. And you have a beautiful, put this one to the wash, voila, and you have a beautiful daiquiri. All right, cheers guys, thanks for being with me.